Hey, what's going on, guys? This is B from Kong's R Us, and welcome to The Next Level. This is my weekly podcast show where I take things and bring it to the next level, bring guests, things, topics. And the biggest thing that hit the news is there's a lot of Arcade1up news leaks, if you will, big ones. And so I was excited to see some of the things come to fruition, but I have some interesting thoughts and opinions about how they turned out. So we don't know if these are all confirmed things. The biggest thing for topic for today is talking about the Tron specific leak that we saw pictures of yesterday, because I've been obsessed with wanting a Tron cab, and I don't know why. Personally, I never had a Tron cab in any of the arcades that I grew up in, because I was more of like a 90s arcade kind of guy. So the Tron arcades didn't exist where I was at. So I wanted to build one, but when I saw them, it was really the most iconic cab and in terms of a design, its artwork, and it looks fantastic and beautiful. So I've always wanted one, and I tried to build my own, but I didn't quite get there. I was obsessed with Star Wars yokes and was like, all right, I hadn't finished the shell of it. So I just threw a GRS yoke in there for right now. I do have Glens set up that I'm going to be eventually installing into here. So this is my fake Tron cab, if you will, that I've not finished just yet, but it will get there. But what I did was I scoured the net. I scoured our Arcade1up Facebook groups to see what could be what other folks have done, and I asked a lot of community members who have built their own Tron cabs to see if they would join me on today's stream, so that you can hear for them why they built their own Arcade1up, and to see what they think about the actual leaked version of the Arcade1up picture that we saw. And if you haven't seen it yet, there's been some news about it, but this is what it looks like, guys. I know I'm kind of like right in my face, but that's the leak of the Arcade1up version of the Tron cab that we're going to be talking about today. But I'm going to start bringing on my guests one by one after I just do some hello comments and see who's here. So thank you guys for joining. Ian's here, Zodride is here, Hollywood Polo, Brad, Billy Wright, Brad O'Connell. Thank you guys. My boy Bobby Vu to die for is there. Very cool. Thank you guys all so much for being here. And we will be talking to a lot of folks. So let's start bringing in my guests one by one. All of them have at one point in time have done a Tron mod themselves. And so let's bring them on. My first guest I'm going to bring on is Retro Lizard, Mr. Joel Gorski. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah, thanks for joining the show. And you don't have a Tron mod behind you. What happened to it? What's going on, man?
I did a Tron mod for a customer. That's what I did mine for.
And when I invited Joel on a couple weeks ago, and we talked about modding 101 tips, and one of his favorite mods he did was the Tron cab. So I shared pictures of it. I don't think I still have it anymore, but it was a pretty cool mod. So at least you've had some experience building your own. So you still technically qualify. But thanks for being here, man.
Thanks, man.
Awesome. All right, my next guest is James Grimmett. Did I say that right?
Yeah, pretty much. It sounds like it looks just Grimmett.
Grimmett, got it.
No French twist on the
end. Thank you so much for being here. You still have your Tron cab behind you. You have a Tron t-shirt, which means you are a fan yourself. How long have you been a Tron fan for?
Oh gosh, I was just telling Joel, probably since I was 10 when the movie hit VHS. So that kind of gives us age. We ran into the video store and got it, because I've been into video games forever. And this was the first, as I can recall, video game movie.
Yeah. So
I've been a fan forever. It's one of my greatest favorite all-time video games and arcade games and movies.
Nice. So. Very cool. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here today. All right, we're going to bring on my next guest. His name is Bob W. Bob, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, Bob, I was such a fan of Bob's mods. If you haven't seen him, he's posted in our global arcade group and Arcade1up and modding. He's in a lot of different groups, but he has a really badass Tron mod. But I love his Punch Out mod. If you haven't seen him in the other groups for what he did, you do your own designs. You did some awesome stuff. So I probably will be sneaking some other questions, Bob, about your other builds during today's show since I have you on. But we're going to focus on Tron because I think you did a really good job with your cap. So thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
All right, and then one of my other guests, and I have a couple other folks. I hope they eventually will able to join the stream later on. But Charlie Pack Dude is here. Charlie, what's going on, man?
Hey B, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I love the nickname Pack Dude. Is that something you got going on?
Actually, it is. It's a name that I've carried for about 25, 30 years now. Actually, I'm also a part of Visual Pinball forums. So if you've ever downloaded any script, you may actually see Pack Dude in some of your script lines.
Nice. Yeah, everybody is getting so into V-Pinball. So if you had a piece in that, first off, thank you. But that's really cool to meet you.
Absolutely.
I found you just by by just scouring the Arcade1up modding groups and saw you had posted your Tron cab. So I have pictures of everybody's cabs at some form or another that I'll be sharing on screen in just a little bit. But thank you guys each for being here. So let's get into it. I want to talk a little bit about the actual leak. If you guys hadn't seen it, again, this is the picture that we're talking about that's on the screen. So let me just do my first kind of go around to everybody around the horn and ask you guys what you guys think about that picture when you guys see it. So Joel, what was your first reaction when you saw this?
It looks pretty square. That's my first reaction. So my second reaction was, that could be a perfect flip cab with that stick.
Yeah, interesting. Cool. How about you, James? Did you have any first thoughts to seeing that?
Yeah, I was glad to see that they tried to keep the graphics as true to the original as they could. And I read a couple of comments about everybody saying, well, there's no way the joystick can be full scale. And I thought, well, the one that I built had the GRS stick from Amazon. Yeah, it's a little small, but it gets it done. So yeah, I think it'll be a cool cab. I may or may not buy one because I do have a full size Tron, and the other one behind me, the discs of Tron. So it's gonna be nice. Yeah.
So you have a full size version, like an original version of it?
Yeah, I do. I can spin this around and show you real quick.
Well, there you go. He doesn't need the Arcade1up version.
Yeah.
He's got the legit big one.
I'll tell you, that was really an investment. I should have bought another car for what I spent on that stupid thing, and parts and decals and everything else. My gosh.
Oh, so cool. Nice. So you have an interesting perspective then, because you also obviously see the form factor of what it was and what they tried to do. So I will definitely be asking a little bit about your opinion there. All right, Charlie, how about you? What was your first thought when you saw the Arcade1up version of it?
My first impression was, it seems pretty much atypical of Arcade1up. They're trying to stay with the legacy styles and shapes now, and I think it's actually starting to bring a lot more popularity to their cabinets. But overall, I'm thinking it's a bit square. Could have had a little bit more of a cut edge, like Tron's shaped, and Gorf is shaped. But overall, I'm glad they did have the graphics. The Bally Midway style is in there. Its potential is really good, but I think us modders could probably do 100 times better.
The modding community has to take it into their own hands, right?
Absolutely.
I wonder if people would just take this back part and just kind of shave it to make it match the front panel of it. That was like my.
I'm already envisioning that myself.
And it's like I want to take a table saw or just go just get it in there, get it going. All right, Bob, how about you? As a modder, would you change this if you were to get one?
I mean, I would definitely buy that, but my first thought is it looks like it's going to fall over.
Right?
I don't know. Personally, I'm not believing this one yet. It looks, there's a lot of sketchy stuff about it. I mean, on top of the fact that every time John D's been asked about this cabinet, he's kind of given the impression it wasn't going to happen. But I don't know. Obviously, these early ones are usually just like, a Photoshop mock-up, and that's definitely what that is. But I don't know. The controls look kind of strange to me. I mean, this has disc of Tron on it, and that doesn't look like a push-pull spinner to me. So there's a lot of red flags there, but I'd definitely buy it if they put it out. The shape of it's great.
Yeah, for sure. I tend to agree with everything you guys said, because these definitely are, again, it's not confirmed. These are promo photos, as people have said, from a catalog that would go to retailers if they would pick this up. So these are absolutely mock-ups. The style of it does look Arcade1up-ish with the riser and the side of it. It looks like something that could and can be done, but I'm really curious about the controls, right? Like in terms of the actual stick they use, it looks almost in the same size as Glen's controller, because his is smaller than a real one, and that almost looks like that same style shape. Do you have any thoughts about that, James, from looking at the controller?
Yeah, I think I speak for a lot of people, especially the hardcore fans of discs of Tron. Is it going to be sturdy? I mean, because we all know the Asteroids debacle. Is it going to be a sturdy push-pull, actual functioning spinner that's going to last? Because that's going to go through some hours. Well, if I get one, it will. But I think for the most part, like I said, it does the job, and it looks like it has a lit control panel like NBA Jam has.
Yeah.
Just from judging from that, but I'm not a big fan. Personal preference. I'm not a big fan of the lit up joystick. But because I did it. I lit it up with my mod, and it was too distracting. It was right in my face, and I was
Right in your face.
had to turn it off. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem, no worries. That's awesome. Okay, so what I do want to do now is share some. There is some super chats that just came in right now about this looks like Oncore and Bobby Vu's project. So Billy Wright, thank you so much for the super chat. Bobby Vu, we know that you can build this on your own. You could have made anything like this, and so many people have made their own versions of a Tron cap. So let me pull up a picture if I can of what they have, just so I can honor the super chat, and let me know in chat what else you got going on. Bobby, you want to show off your project? It's not done yet. You just did a Tron counter cape. That was awesome. But I'm going to share my screen and not only show that, I want to do a showcase now. Now that you guys have seen the Arcade1up version, let's go down a trip of memory lane over the last year and a half, because Arcade1up has only been around for the last 2 years or so. And many modders like you all have taken it into your own hands. I want to get your opinions on what the community has done with their own Tron mod. So let's do that. I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. Entire screen, allow. There it is. Okay, so first off, let's go to this is Bobby's. Oh wait, no, that's not. That's from last week. Sorry. All right, let's go back over here. Here. Okay, so this is Bobby's project that he's doing with Oncore. So he just has the artwork done for it right now. And that's what it's going to look like, which looks like a 3/4 scale arcade. So I don't know if there's something special about it, Bobby. If there's something special about it, put it into chat so we can get it going and recognize the great work that you do. But this is what I want to showcase, is everybody's completed mods that have been in here. So as I go through this list and I get to yours, if you can just shout out, this is yours, let me know. So I will go through this list. This is yours? This is Bob's?
Yeah.
All right, first one, Bob. Look at that. So, Bob, so let's stop and talk about this, because obviously you did. I think this is Escape Pod's versions of graphics. But did you do the design of this, or did you just buy that from?
No,
them?
I didn't. To be honest, this was the first Arcade1up conversion I did, and that was before I even really knew that you could get anything you wanted custom made. So I kind of pulled off the shelf for a lot of this stuff. If I was going to do this now, I would absolutely do my own designs. But the cabinet graphics themselves came from Escape Pod, and the marquee I made had printed, but everything else is Escape Pod, and obviously that's Glen's control panel that DIY Retro makes.
Oh right, yeah, I did get one of those because I was like, oh, it can fit all his stuff, but that is definitely not a traditional.
And same thing with that. I design all my own panels now and have DIY make them, but I didn't even know at the time that they did that, so I just bought one off the shelf. Which again, I would never do that now, but I like it well enough.
Yeah, that's very cool. This is your very first one. Cool. All right, so let's get through some of these other ones. Here's a couple other ones here using just different unique controls. This is that DIY retro control panel as well.
That's mine.
That's mine.
Who's this one?
That's Charlie's.
Not that one.
This is Charlie's. All right, Charlie, talk about this. So this is yours right here.
Yeah, that was actually an Asteroids originally, first gen, and I was pretty much bored with the first 4 games for the first month that I had it, and I already started thinking, what could I do with this? And Tron was the first thing that came to mind, and then people started actually getting some of the panels together. The DIY retro stuff was really nice. There's a lot of buttons and configuration options with it, using Glen's joystick and spinner on there, and put together a really nice small factor PC, and it's housing about 15,000 MAME games right now.
Wow,
nice. So yours is more of a multi-cade, right? That can do everything besides just like the Tron build. And Bob, is yours set up to play multiple games too? Because you have the control panel with
and that is actually running on a Pi, which if you're not aware, getting Tron to work with a Pi is like a nightmare. It took literally weeks longer just to get that game working and the controls working than to build the damn cabinet. But that's one of the only ones in here that actually has a Pi in it and not a PC. But what a nightmare.
We know the software side of modding can be just as fun, if you will, than the hardware side. All right, whose is this one? This was
that was mine.
Is that James?
No, sir.
That's Lizard.
Oh, Lizard. Sorry, I can't see the screen right now.
That's a Lizard style cab.
Lizard style cab. Oh, because you even added the LEDs on the front part of it, right? So
yeah, it was. They were blacklight LEDs around the trim because the graphics were blacklight.
Oh, nice. So you have blacklight there. And then you did a 2-player 6-button control. Is that right? How did you fit everything on there?
Yeah. That was a Street Fighter arcade 1-up. One of the newer ones that came out, that came with the plexiglass too.
Okay.
So it already had the 6-button layout going on, and then I put the Tron stick off to the right of where the buttons were for starting coins. So it fit just maybe about 3 inches from the screen, and it was just above the 6-button layout, and it fit perfectly. So you weren't like hitting the buttons or anything like that. And that's running a Raspberry Pi 3 with 8,500 games on it. And the stick was only configured to work with Tron. That's it.
Nice. So everything else was like your basic multi-cade, but the stick alone was set for Tron. Cool.
Yep.
All right. Thanks. I'm sorry I'm running blind right here. Oh, is this the black light? Ooh, yeah, that looks nice. And I guess with the lighting is so really it's one of those things that makes everything pop. And you have is that marquee custom too? Like who made the marquee? Is that an Angel marquee?
That's an Angel marquee. Yeah.
Nice.
It's an Angel marquee, and then that's a Mr. Profit graphics.
Designed. Cool. I like it. So many different versions. All right. Is this anybody's here? All right. I think these are just people that I was just pulling off the different Facebook groups, but you can see there's so many ways you can do these cabs. They look fantastic. Especially all the skate pod graphic seems to be, it's either the original artwork or this design that I've seen. I've not seen too many other side arc designs, but Bob, since you did the skate pod graphics compared to the original one, is there anything that in terms of having the original style versus this version, is there a reason why you went with this one versus
like in all my custom cabs, I try to not make them exactly like the original cabinet. I don't know why. I'm just not driven to have it be identical most of the time, and I just really liked that. I thought the cycles on the side of that look fantastic.
Yeah, agreed.
Again, I wouldn't do that today, but I still like it.
Even though the original is cool, like this definitely has more graphic designs to it. So as long as you're not like a purist to it, this looks gorgeous. So I absolutely love it.
I really like how they tied the riser to the side panel graphics.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, see the little corner right there? Yeah, everything kind of goes together. Is this yours? This is yours again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. And then you recessed the bezel too, like the actual monitor itself?
that screenshot is from before I did that, but from the other one you can tell. Yeah, that was the first one I did, one of those where I tilted it back and
tell us about that. That was pretty cool. Was that pretty easy to do, just to kind of draw
it really wasn't that bad. You had to move some of like the original plywood planks that Arcade 1-up puts in there, but like I had to take one of them out and then just like slide one of them back, and then pretty much just slanting the monitor and then rescrewing it back in. And then I had to like vinyl the inside of the cabinet too, because it was like garbage.
All right, so we're gonna get to some. So these are all like reskins of Arcade 1-up Gen 1 products, but we're gonna get to something pretty cool in a second. All right, so here's Bob's. Here's another version of an Arcade 1-up with some different front graphics as well. Oh, this Charlie's?
Yeah.
All right, Charlie, tell us about this.
I went with a little bit of ultraviolet and did a custom front lower graphic that was very similar to the original, true to form, and it actually does glow in the dark, and it actually has that really nice iridescence that the original had with the black light effect, and it kind of set it off. It was just perfect to have that instead of a little blank filler with a Tron graphic or something stuck on it. It was a good idea.
Is that backlit?
Yeah, it is black. Yeah,
it looks great.
That is literally a 1/2-inch thick panel sticking over the front of that original front panel. I just made a nice little acrylic for it with a translate.
Nice.
Very cheap too. Actually, the whole project right there, that piece was probably about $32.
Oh, nice.
That's funny. I contacted every one of the custom places, that even the guys that make marquees, and asked them all to make me that panel translucent, and nobody was willing to do it. Which is why mine currently isn't.
That's a good idea, because I know that you can, if you do that there, that kind of takes place of the little bar that would normally go right between the monitor, right? So that's a really good option to reskin the Arcade 1-ups. Cool.
That one's mine.
All right. Talk about this.
Yeah, so I had to have one because, again, like everybody else here, I was like, I'm not going to wait around forever for Arcade 1-up to do one, and will they do it right?
Yeah.
So I took my Space Invaders cab and did the same graphics package as pretty much everybody else did, because again, it wasn't the same shape as the original cabinet, so I thought, why put the original or try to cut them and mess them up? So I just went with that package. And I had another backlit marquee I wasn't using, and I bought the actual graphic off eBay. Just somebody was selling graphics. I thought, well, okay, I'll get that. And it looks a little bit washed out, but in person, it's really not. It looks really good. And then I scoured the internet. There was one place I could find on the entire internet that sold an actual push-pull spinner that was true to discs of Tron. And that was, I think it was Arcade Freaks or something like that. And it took forever because they're made to order, from what I understand.
Nice. Oh, wow.
So, yeah, not a cheap project, but I got it done. I was really happy with it. And underneath the marquee, you see that extra piece of wood. It's about an inch thick or so.
Yeah.
I had a blacklight that I had from a computer build when, the side windows on PCs were all the rage. And it was left over in a drawer. So I've got that under there. And then I put, I had one of my friend's daughters help me actually paint the control panel with blacklight reactive fluorescent paint.
Cool.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And you guys have heard that Glen's retro show that really enabled a lot of us to do this is making a push-pull spinner. So for future modders, that is going to be available. I imagine a year or a half ago when you created this, you're like, it doesn't exist. So you have to.
Where do I get this?
Exactly. Well, that's pretty cool. So the side of it is the escape pod graphics,
right? With the light cycles.
With the light cycles. All right. Yeah, and that makes sense because the original design is really made for that shape. So when you're kind of resizing it for the Arcade1up shape, you have to kind of take liberties. And so I have the original shape for it too, but that completely makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool.
So.
And but you didn't do riser graphics on this? Or
no, I didn't. I got lazy. I was like, man, I just want to play this thing. It looks good enough.
We all feel that way sometimes, but you can, at least since they're really close to each other, you can just slap on the front one and then nobody would notice for the side.
Right.
But all right, let's keep it going. Here's another version of a cab. Very clean, escape pod graphic styles. I think this is Mike Lopez's. He said it to me. So that might have been a follow-up from what he sent me. So I'm just going to pop through these. All right, here we go. Looking at some folks that made custom 3/4 scale versions of actual cabs.
That was crazy.
That was really cool, right?
Man.
Isn't this gorgeous?
That's 3/4 scale?
That's the real cabinet. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that looks like
is that a real cabinet
to me.
All right, sorry. Maybe I got it mixed up.
I was going to say that's really
that's an amazing job. If it
wait. It's coming. I have so many of these. Here.
Oh,
here. Look at this.
I've seen this one around. It's amazing.
Is that a full-size stick?
That's worth doing right there.
It looks like a.
See, that looks like he did it right.
Yeah,
but he did it on a riser. So I mean, like, if you think about this, this is truly 3/4 scale, and you can tell, right? Because it's the setup. It's absolutely. So I was hoping if we were gonna get something that was on a riser, it would look something like this. But man, super gorgeous. What do you guys think? Good stuff.
That's crazy good. Yeah.
Clearly, this guy has more woodworking skills than I do.
Yeah, and there's another gentleman who I visited a couple weeks ago. I showed him off on my show, John Tanaka. I think he's probably watching the show instead of joining us because he didn't want to join in a little bit later. But I'll show off my sneak peek at his 3/4 scale arcade because he's actually went to his house and saw it in person, and he did a really cool thing with. I don't know if this has the screen inside of it because I didn't see pictures of the back portion of it because you know how in the original cab, and maybe I'll stop sharing my screen so I can see it. I want to see you guys. I want to talk to you guys. Hold on, let me get back over here. Let me stop sharing. All right, so James, you have the original cab, right? And then it has that graphic in the back, right? Is it lit? Like, is it still in good shape? The graphic that's in the back of it?
In the back of the machine, on top of the screen.
Yeah, on top of the screen.
Yeah. It's got a crack in it. It's not perfect, but I mean, I had to replace. When I got this thing originally, I wanted it in auction. I didn't even expect to win it. I was thought, ooh, look, a Tron machine. Throw a bid out there. Nobody else bid. I was like, oh God, now how do I get this thing home? But yeah, it needed a lot of love. The cabinet itself, I need to replace because it got wet, like a lot of these things that are stored at the bottom. So I had to cut about 3 inches of the wood off and replace the bottom completely. I knew nothing about these original arcade games, but in a weekend, I educated myself like no other just by getting in there and messing with it, and finally got it to work. And after I bought a new set of boards, I got the originals to work. I was like, well, okay, I have an extra set of boards, but it's great. It works. It's got a little credit button on the front somebody put in, and you can just go to town on it.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to show a video again of my visit to John Tanaka's house and he might be here sneaking around in the chat. But if you see somebody named Coaster Lover, I have a sneaking suspicion he's the Afro guy in this chat. But check this out. What do you guys think? Good stuff.
That's
impressive.
Yeah,
That's impressive.
All handmade, and again, he did the 3/4 scale, and he doesn't have him on riser because he sits down while he plays it. But he was showing. I was asking you, James, because what he did was he had a monitor in the back for a second screen that had the image of that thing, and I was like, that's so cool. If you can't recreate the graphic, so I just thought he was really creative, and he was using real parts for everything. I was just blown away. And someday I did interview him while I was at his house, which was awesome that he was close by. But if I can get him here to to talk about his opinions, because he's had a real Tron cab just like you, and he's also very opinionated about the actual design itself. So knowing that the community can make these things, right? And we've had such strong expectations of Arcade1up and what they can do. In terms of the game selection, like you guys saw Disc of Tron and Tron, can that controller setup be used for anything else? Does anybody have thoughts about the game selection that's on the Arcade1up that we saw?
Satan's Hollow, maybe?
Yeah, I've got Gorf, Satan's Hollow in mind.
Yeah,
Yeah, Gorf would be good.
Yeah.
Emulation for Gorf still is pretty horrible, though.
Yeah,
maybe even Zaxxon, but that doesn't use a spinner, just the stick. That'd be a cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a flight stick with a button, so you can do a lot of different things with it.
Afterburner, if you had a couple more buttons on it.
Right.
Yeah, the backside.
To the Arcade1up version of Discs of Tron, like mine, I had to put a button in for the deflector shield thing, because in the original arcade version, it had a red button on the stick, so you could control it with your thumb when you could put up your shield and block the discs that the other guy was throwing at you. So I wonder how they're going to pull that off.
Scott Barrett's in chat too. You guys have stuff going on about your Tron stuff. Very cool. So if anybody's in the chat and wants to message me that you've already built a Tron cab and you want to come on and just give, I'm doing an open invitation. If you've built a Tron cab, I want to hear your voice because you've taken it that far. So message me. I'll send you an invite to see if we can get you on to talk about it. So we have some good content talking about the game selection. Joel, you're not really much of a purist though. So is this something that you would buy just to have, or is this something that you would mod in your own way?
I would mod it.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, I would probably use it for flight only. That's exactly what I would do with it. Because it's got the stick on it, it's got the trigger. I'm a big fan of Afterburner, so I would love to have an Afterburner dedicated cab or the stick for it. Yeah, that's what I would do. I would make it a dedicated flight cab, 100%.
Nice, really good. Would any of you guys, if you guys bought it, well, let me ask you one by one. Would you buy it? And if you got it, what would you do with it, if any modifications? So we'll go one by one and ask. James?
Yeah, like I said before, I'm kind of on the fence about it because I have the machines, but if it's pretty impressive and it's got everything the original arcade does, I mean, it looks good from the mock-ups. So 90% yes, 10% no. Yeah, I don't think I'd mod it at all. I'd just leave it original.
Very cool. All right, I'm going to get back to asking everybody questions really quickly. Bob, would you buy it? Yes or no?
Absolutely.
And would you mod it? Yes or no?
Absolutely.
Charlie, how about you? Is it a buy for you? Yes.
I think I would pass on this one.
Yeah. Okay. Just because you already have it, you already have your design. But I'm really curious to hear about this next gentleman. One of the guys that made this all possible. He just joined the stream. He's backstage. He's waiting to get here. The godfather of retro gaming, the one, the only, Glen's Retro Show. What's going on, Glen?
Hey, Big Kong. Thanks for having me on. Sorry, guys. Working long hours today, but thanks for having me on, Big Kong. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we've all been excited to hear that there is potential news for Arcade1up to come up with this. So I don't know if you've had a chance to tell anybody your thoughts of you making this possible for many of us here in the room to build our own. But now that this could be a reality for people to buy as stock, any thoughts on seeing it and seeing the mods that we were showing earlier?
Well, unfortunately, I just got on stream. I didn't see the mods. I'll have to see them later. But
oh yes, I will send you pictures.
As far as I know, I did the first one here with the Arcade1up conversion when I did with my my Tron stick, and I had talked to Arcade1up a few years ago when I first started my Tron stick, try and see if they wanted to use my Tron joystick. But apparently, they were at that point in time already well in the throes of talking to Disney to make their Tron machine. Now, mine is obviously the original. It was an Asteroids machine. I converted over. And seeing the pictures here from the one that they're, leaked or posted or whatever, man, it looks really, really nice. Yeah, that's it. It looks really, really nice. Now, the one thing I did notice, I'm sure you guys already talked about it, is that Tron and Tron Deadly discs on there. Now, just going by the photograph, what I can see on there, it looks like it's a standard Tron spinner, which we've also I've also released those as well, especially my Star Wars Kickstarter. But it doesn't look like it's a Disc of Tron controller on there. I might be wrong. I'm just going by the photographs there. Now, with that being said, I'm hoping within the next month or so to be able to show you my prototype, or not actually production version of my Disc of Tron spinner.
Yes.
We were working on that for the past year, making sure that the spinner top was right. So if they don't have a Disc of Tron spinner in there, hopefully we can hack it in there and make that work as well for Disc of Tron, because with Disc of Tron, you want to have a spinner, but also be able to pull it up and push down to raise your arm and down up in the game. Maybe they're using buttons on there. But just looking at that, and we're trying to get a better shot of mine. It's kind of hard to see there.
Yeah.
My cell phone. But I mean, the cabinet design there, I'm kind of happy with that they didn't use a standard Arcade1up design. That they tried to make it look that way. And their Tron joystick, mine is more of a blue color. Theirs is actually, I think, a little bit more true, if that's the one they're going to use, truer to the arcade original as far as that goes. So I'm kind of excited about it. Now, will I purchase it? No, I'm very happy with the one I built here. Very much so. But I'm not going to lie. If I do see one on clearance for $99, I never do. But if I do see one on sale for $99, I'll probably pick up every one they have in stock just to have, one of theirs. It does look nice. I think I don't know if you guys talked about their Fisher Price edition of Arcade1ups that they were showing. I'm a little disappointed in that, but not surprised. If you look back to when Arcade1up first came out, they had the grandparents there with the grandkids, the Arcade Asteroid Machine. That's kind of where they started. So I kind of see what it's going to that. But to me personally, from my standpoint, and from probably your guys' standpoint, being who you are, it hurts the brand a little bit because we're trying to bring Arcade1up more towards the upper end of the spectrum with these machines, especially with the price point, $500 for an Arcade1up. We're expecting more. And to see a Fisher Price edition as an Arcade1up, kind of, I think cheap as the brand a little bit, but again, it's probably a smart move on their part. Just another way to get younger kids involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm kind of happy with the Tron machine. I kind of knew about it a few years ago. So that's
the big question. Did you know, had they asked you at least about the parts, or will the parts that are going to be in it similar to the products that you're offering? What can we expect in terms of quality? Is that consulting that you ever did and talking to them about how you designed it?
Well, I did talk to Scott. Actually, I had a few meetings with Arcade1up, but I did talk to Scott a few years ago about it. But the price point of what I was able to do, I basically was going to make like 5 cents a device, to be quite honest, just to work with them. I really wanted to work with Scott and Arcade1up's team. I already had the hardware, and if it was a different color or a small change, we could have done it. But even at the lowest price, I was able to get my spinner for and the Tron joystick for. I guess for them it didn't make sense. So never moved forward on it. But I can say that, they working with, Disney is not an easy thing. Get a license from them. And my hat off to Scott and probably to John D for making that happen. And again, from the photograph, I can only go by the photograph. I never saw a prototype. Well, it might have been a prototype in the building. I was there, but I didn't see it. But from the photograph, I think it looks pretty nice. It does. Now, again, it comes out to the price point. I don't know if it'd be a $500 or $600 cabinet. I would never spend that kind of money on one, but we don't even know what the price point is on it. But it looks like Wi-Fi capable.
I think all the pictures had that though, so I'm not sure what would Wi-Fi mean if you're on a Tron cab, right? Because it's all.
To be quite honest, I can think of 2 things.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I mean 2 things I think of. One is firmware updates and fixes, because historic, there's been bugs. Yep. So I'm assuming this will be done by Code Mystics, which have done fantastic jobs. So for me, there'd be bugs and updates, but also I'm hoping they'll do a leaderboard. I mean, that's one of those games where it'd be nice to have a leaderboard.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining, Glenn. Does anybody have any questions for Glenn as an opportunity to kind of say hello if any of you guys have ever chatted and
absolutely.
met? Yeah.
Glenn, Charlie.
How you doing, bud?
Hey, man, I just got to say one thing for sure. If it weren't for your joystick, I probably would have never had enough inspiration to even done this with an Arcade1up mod. After seeing your joystick and watching it on your show, I think, I probably speak for a lot of the guys that actually saw this and said, you know what, now that may be worthwhile, and actually give this a go. And I just want to thank you and, give you more gratitude than what we can. It's so much appreciated. What you do to the community is great.
I got to say, first of all, that means a lot to me and my team. We are really trying to make this experience a little bit better for everyone. Not just the quality of the control and the price point, but just making controls that weren't available. I mean, obviously they're making a Tron now, which is great. We had no idea they were coming out with one. When I was working on the Star Wars yoke, at that time, I didn't know Arcade1up was even going down that path. So we were doing that. We're going to make the Akari Warriors controller, and we have light guns and things coming down the pipe. And I personally, just coming from me, and I'm sure for you guys too, when you're playing these games, having the right controller, even the right look of the controller really means a lot. When you're playing a game, like I'm gonna always go back to Pong. When you're playing Pong with a joystick, that's not the right way to play a game. It's actually evil to do it that way. So, if you guys have suggestions about a controller you guys want to have, I know people talk about, for like Paperboy, we're trying to work on that, some other things for Spy Hunter. We're trying to do all those type of things for you guys to make this even more special. And I was working a lot of years trying to work with the companies. And I think I've come to the conclusion that we're just going to do our thing, and people like you and the community will go forth and put the controller in your machine, rather than trying to deal with the companies that, although they have their own, I don't say agenda, but they're making their products. They don't need to have me or someone like me stepping in on their toes. Right. But at least it's nice to have the option for you guys. If you're not happy with what you got with the machine, I want to make sure you guys have the option to build something you dreamt up as a kid. I'm not gonna. One last thing, I talk a lot. I'm sorry. I just came home from work. When I was growing up, I remember I was 9 years old, and I was coming back from the arcade, and I prayed to God. I want an Asperger's machine. I want an Asperger's. I can't have anything. God, please give me an Asperger's machine. And if it wasn't for Arcade1up, I have it now. I do have that machine. So it's one of those things where these companies are making stuff we dreamed up as kids reality. Yeah. It may not be perfect, but that's why B-Kong and all you guys are here, because
this is what Coaster Lover's saying. He says Arcade will screw up controls, but Glen will always have a side hustle. For Glen to the rescue.
I really liked that Tempest cabinet. Gorgeous cabinet. Let's show the control panel. And I'm like, how did they screw that up? I'm not happy with that control panel, the layout. But it's still a beautiful cabinet. It's fixable. We can fix it. We can fix it.
We can fix it.
Right. So I really appreciate what you said there a moment ago. It means a lot, because I'm going to tell you something. Full-time job, being a single parent, and trying to do all these things, and run all the Facebook groups and everything else that I do. Just one thing you guys said a minute ago really makes it really worth a lot to me, and I take it to heart very much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I just want to echo the same thing. I spent 25 years trying to play an emulated version of Tron on any controller or anything that would work, and it never did. Nope. And if it wasn't for you, I still wouldn't be able to play it. So you have all my gratitude in the world, man.
It's all mine.
Yeah, 100%, man. You make good stuff. We love your products.
Yeah. Thank you. And that's what I'm going to make sure. That's my promise to all you guys there. Like I'm working on a few videos right now. My version 3 trackball is finally production ready. I just literally got it the other day. That would have been out sooner, but I was not happy with my first prototype I got. It did not work right, and I was not going to release it to you guys. And that's what I wish these companies would do, is just have it. Doesn't have to be me. I tried. That's okay. They don't want me. It's cool. But someone who knows gaming has to be at these companies to say, look, this doesn't feel right. This doesn't work right. And I was not going to release that trackball until it was right. Now I'm kind of happy with it. But watch the video for that coming soon.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much again for joining, Glen. I don't know if you see, but this might be the first Tron cab with your GRS yoke in it. So I know it's a little blasphemous, but I couldn't get your other setup in there. But we're Tron fans, and we can be Star Wars fans at the same time. But maybe I'll throw a stick in there. But you know me, I love my yoke mods and everything. Cool.
I do.
All right.
And you keep my lights on, B-Kong, so I thank you.
because I keep buying all the yokes that Glen has and pushing them out. But if you haven't seen it, definitely check out Glen's retro show and all his products and things going on. I want to do another round the horn, asking anybody else about, these are some talented modders, Glen. I know you joined the show late, but we were sharing some of the actual Tron mods out there that people have done. So I mean, so folks can say everybody in this room has made their own Tron mod. Like, has there been one that you've seen as you've roamed the groups that you're like, do you get a kick out of seeing people use your products? Is there one that really stands out to you that like really caught your attention?
First of all, I look at them all. I do a lot of searching on them, and I see the mods people have done. Before real quick, I saw someone actually made a pole position using my version 2 spinner. They used my spinner to connect the steering wheel in the original pole position. That I just thought was amazing. But as far as Tron goes, I don't know who did it, to be honest, but they just had the backlighting in there. They had the screen. They made the whole screen recessed. They had the backlighting for the display. I mean, it makes my stuff like nothing, the mods I've done. There's very talented people out there.
I'm going to go back to sharing some of this stuff to get your thoughts, Glen, as I go through this. I'm just going to slide through this.
That's beautiful.
Give me your thoughts.
It's just, you know what? I've seen someone who actually did a NCOM, what was the tank game in trying to think of the name right now? Space Paranoids. And somebody in the Space Paranoids cabinet. That was beautiful. But look at these things. These are very talented people, not only for the artwork on it, which I think the artwork was done by mine was done actually by Arcade Graphics back in the day. But I know that there's other ones that are done. They're beautiful. But it's the backlighting people doing. People putting like plexiglass behind the screens or under the control panel. I mean, these are really, really nice. That's right. That's nice there too. If someone puts a keg in one of these, that'd be perfect. But
so look at that with the red. Yeah,
but I did see someone out there actually made a Gorf. They used my joystick and made a Gorf out of it, which was kind of nice. But these are, I mean, look at that. These are that right there. Right, stop right there for a second. See, that is someone who took the time and says, you know what? To make a Tron, I got to make the cabinet right, and that is beautiful.
That's goals right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all stopped here and we're like, oh, look, it's on a riser. This is something that Arcade1up could have made, but yeah, it's in the same shape and the vein. But yeah, this was absolutely gorgeous. This is on our top list of sharing. Plus John Tanaka's version, but he wouldn't want to join on it. I should have shared some pictures, but yeah, look at that. And this, I think, is that your stick or is that a real one? Can you tell?
Well, it's hard to tell from here. I'm on a cell phone and I'm already blind. I'm 52, so but the screen is very small. Hard to tell, but
I don't think that's Glens. It doesn't have the light in the handle.
Yeah, it might not be. It's not very well lit. Let's put it that way.
Unless you didn't light it
up. Yeah. Oh, but here it is here, right? Isn't that the same one?
Oh yeah, that is Glens.
Yeah.
That is. Some people have actually put in some resistors to lower the brightness on the LEDs. And that's something we're looking at too. I mean, you guys know we have Stefan on our team now.
Yeah.
We're doing some mods on that Tron stick as well. You guys can be blown away with some stuff we're doing with that stick. And one of them will be an adjustable way for the backlight.
Yeah, very cool. We got some lit front panels here. I really like this little bar that's in front of the bezel right there.
Yeah.
So people are really talented with their stuff. Look at that.
That's awesome. Like really nice. Someone taking some time for the lighting there. That's really nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, very cool. Loving this. So we're just doing a little trip down, Arcade1up history of the last year and a half, because we all didn't think this could happen. That's the really cool thing about Arcade1up. Eventually seeing what's popular in the community, and maybe all these mods and what you've done has really driven, what could be done. And this is the potential end product of what we might get. So.
Well, two things. One, you can tell I'm very good at keeping my mouth shut. I've known about this some time. I didn't spill the beans to Arcade1up. But the key
it's
here
still
now,
speculation, guys. It's still speculation. Yeah. So
the photos are out there. It looks pretty good. But I will say that the design of the cabinets now is Arcade1up's future. If they're going to make cabinets, they got to do what they're doing here and make the cabinet design part of what they're showing. And like with the Tempest cabinet and with these cabinets, I think that's their key, because there's too many players in the field now. You have At Games, you got IR Arcade, you have Game Room Solutions, who just happens to share the same initials as me. So it's different.
You're in the better version, though.
So for Arcade1up to continue, again, I understand they're going with the like elementary school one that makes some sense. But if you're going to make ones for $500-600, those cabinet designs have to look the part, and I think this is the right way to go.
Yeah. So we were just talking about a space paranoia design, right? And we have a guest that just joined us backstage that is designing and making one right now, but it looks like he just stepped away. So I'm going to bring him on in a second. So, oh, here he is. All right, I'm going to bring him on, but he's designing a space paranoia cabinet right now. So Scott, welcome to the stream, man. How's it going?
Hi, how are you guys doing?
Good.
Good to see you, Glenn. Thank you for all that you've done. Can we start with that? Thanks so much.
Yeah, let's all just take a moment to thank Glen for being here. But Scott, tell us about the project that you're working on. I'll see if I can pull a picture up of it.
Well, it's Space Paranoids, and I literally have it right here. This is the side art, and the machine is on its side, getting the art applied. I have hopefully enough slack on my headphones here. So this is the.
I'm gonna make them big so that we can. Here we go. Let's make them big. So you can see them. There it is.
Thanks. All right. So this is the monitor glass. This is Space Invaders. And what's available right now? Dan went and posted this thing up on Escape Pod Online before I've actually put it together. So hopefully all my sizing was right. I don't know as yet. I'll know tomorrow, maybe the next. But yeah, have the.
I just love the background. You got a lot of stuff going on back there. What's that? You got Star Wars, Real Arcade. You got the Arcade1up one.
Environmental.
Yeah,
A little bit jealous on that one.
Well, let's look at this first. A testament to somebody else in the audience.
Yeah. There you go. Very cool. And you can tell
the trackball goes obviously in the middle.
Me not knowing my Tron, I called it Space Paranoids instead of Paranoia. So, you know.
It is Paranoids, yeah. You said Paranoia. It doesn't matter. Yeah, so there's that. And yeah, what's back here is a disc of Tron.
Oh, man.
Tron. The Star Wars is modded to play, all the things. And I had bought the Glens Retro Show yoke to put in the Star Wars. However, when I got it, I also got one of these, and I thought, I wonder if you could play Squadrons with the yoke. Everyone know what Squadrons is?
Yeah, you can.
So I built this last week.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes. He mounted a HOTAS set with the yoke. That's so cool.
So I learned to weld last week and did that.
That is next level right there.
Yeah.
And got this going on.
Nice. I love it.
And it works. It works amazing.
That's greatness.
Glen, when you see stuff like this, what do you think?
I am just happy people were able to make things and enjoy it. That's what it's all about. Having fun with games, reliving the games. Now, Rogue Squadron is a new game, but that's amazing that someone did that. That's creativity, and I love seeing it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, well, I wanted to sell the Star Wars, and I thought maybe get the full size and get a yoke. The yoke works perfectly, but I got yours for this, and then discovered it would be way better to use it for Squadrons because I'll play that all the time.
Thanks for joining, Scott. I mean, the reason why I love hosting these shows and talking to modders like this is because it's like show and tell, right? All of us as adults now, we used to go to school and be like, ooh, what's this? The shiny toy, and getting to show off all the goodies. So this is super exciting to see all the projects that you got going on. So thanks for coming on, sharing your goodies. I don't want to take
Can I ask Glenn a question?
Yes, go ahead.
Any chance of a 720 stick ever happening?
Oh, please. That's my most favorite arcade ever.
I will say that it's in the roadmap. I don't know what it's going on. We have so many going on 2021. 2022, who knows? But it's the roadmap.
So it's possible at least.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that would be awesome. So
you're saying there's a chance.
Taking the line from Jong, anything is possible, right? So. Any other questions for Glen while we have him on? This is a unique opportunity to talk to some modders in the community and to have Glen on here.
Yeah, I have maybe a question for Glen. Glen, do you know what what this is?
Hold on, I gotta bring my phone closer to my face. Is that a Miko controller? What is that?
It sure is. Can I
Nice.
have enough space here?
I got to make him big again so that we can. Scott has all the show and tell stuff going on right now. Hold on a second. There it is.
Well, this
You got
is
an Intellivision Amico.
This is literally an Intellivision Amico. I am one of the designers of one of the first games for the Intellivision Amico called Bomb Squad. So I think I sent you a message a little while back saying, hey, can we do maybe some Tron, Glens Retro Show Tron Amico, some sort of mashup. I'm not sure what it would mean, but you know, a stick that could be sold with the Amico to play Tron, because you know Tommy Tellerico, the CEO of Intellivision, is dying to do Tron stuff. So
I'll tell you, I get so many messages. If you send it, I didn't get it. So if you want to send it again, it's just glensretroshow@gmail.com. Just hit me up again. I sent it. I just didn't get it. I apologize.
We'll get you guys.
That's
We'll get
okay.
you guys connected. Don't worry.
Okay.
We'll get you guys connected. Very cool.
yeah, that'd be some fun.
I think so.
Nice. Look at this connection. Look at this community. Hopefully this
It's
was
a
a fun
love
show.
connection. Econ making love connection.
That's all I try to do. Bring like-minded folks together, all in this home retro arcade hobby. What else are we going to be doing, right?
Right.
So let me do one last around the horn just to check in if you guys have any other future projects, things you're working on, things you want to share, and then we'll kind of close out the show. So Scott, since you joined us last, I'm going to have you go first. What's the biggest project you have going on besides that Space Paranoids?
Well, I guess Bomb Squad for the Amico is probably the biggest thing going on. Another project with Universal Studios I absolutely can't talk about, so that's
Cool.
nothing there.
Awesome.
But probably that.
Thanks. And did you have any thoughts on the Arcade1up Tron cab?
I think I'm not going to buy it, frankly.
Yeah?
I have a full-size Tron, the E-Dot, and
No.
Space Paranoids. Oh, and I don't know if you noticed, but the entire room is Tron, and I used to have it blacklit, but it made for a really shitty green screen. But the entire place is Tron. The floor used to be grid before it was green. So
That's awesome.
yeah, it's not a buy for me, I don't think. It's just it's square, it's weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I think somebody that has your diehardness, if you will, maybe the diehards might not be for them, but there's a lot of casual fans out there that may not have access to something like this. But I can see that for somebody that has spent the time that you did. So that's super valid.
So it is not the Glens Retro Show stick on there. Is that correct?
That is correct. I had talked to them.
Well, then no, I don't want any part of it.
That just means you got to upgrade the stick. That's
We got to keep Glen's side hustle going, so everybody can replace the stock one with whatever the push-pull spinner. If it doesn't come with it, I mean,
Right.
I need to make one of these for Tommy Tellerico, Glen, and I'm going to hit you up for another set.
That's fair enough. I'll hook you up.
Okay, awesome.
Thanks, Scott. All right, Joel, anything going on in your end?
I'm just gonna start a 32 terabyte mod next week. That's about it. I'm gonna start the software side of it and loading up the games into it next week. So I got 2 I'm finishing up now, and then I got 2 I got to get done over the week. Another 2 to get done over the weekend, and then I'm gonna start that big build next week, and that's gonna be my last one for a while.
Yeah, you're a busy man. I think he said he's up to 50 plus mods going on. Joel is a modding machine. Modding machine. Somebody was asking for the picture one more time. So that's the Arcade1up picture that's there. So again, it's all over the place, but we were just talking about first thoughts and opinions, and I can't believe we got Glen on the show. Thank you so much for joining. I was like pinging it. I called Glen. I was like, Glen, join the show. We're talking about Tron. So I appreciate you getting on, brother. James, anything you going on with you?
Not modding wise. Scott's super jealous of the environmental, man. I've been looking for that forever. Oh my gosh. That is one of my 3 holy grail machines. I got Tron, which I have, that one, and 720 all the way. But anyways, no, to answer your question, I don't have anything modding wise. I've got my Mortal Kombat Legacy machine in the mail today, and I'm going to be putting that together and trying to make room by getting rid of Rampage and Mortal Kombat 2, and because Dragon Slayer is coming out. Another big one for me.
Yeah.
So a little off topic, but yeah.
Oh, we'll get there as soon as it comes out, hopefully at some point.
Yeah.
But
It looks good from what they're shown.
Yeah, I was super high hopes, and all of these are renderings, right? So until we get more hard, solid, official announcement, all of this is speculation. And I normally don't dive into a ton of speculation shows, but this was too good to like not talk about it because there's been so many mods of it, right? Because Glen has made this possible. So it was just a nice trip to see all the different versions that's been done, including my own, which isn't really true Tron. I don't even have Tron on this cab yet. Yet. Bob, what's going on with you, man?
Just keep my eye out for an Outrun stand-up because I want to do an APB mod, but I haven't been able to get one yet. Currently, the only thing I got going on is I'm trying to make a desktop for my son, so he'll stop monopolizing my cabinets. But that's really the only thing I got in the project at the moment.
And Bob is the best punch-out cabinet. I'll say it because he put in some original hardware in it. Can you talk about that for a sec? Because I said I was going to be beginning the show.
All the hardware came from.
Can you show us the Tron, your punch-out cab really fast? I know we're talking about Tron.
Yeah,
too big.
I don't know how. Well, it's pretty dark in here. But
punch out with controls. Yeah, that's so cool.
See if I can get it any better.
Yeah, because you put in the original joysticks, right? Talking about controls. That's unique control, right?
Yeah, all the hardware is from a place called Mike's Arcade, which is my first time buying anything from him, but it's all fantastic. It's all reproductions of actual Nintendo hardware.
Yeah.
Wow. And, I'm sorry?
Has it got a screen above it so you can watch your friends play?
It does not. Right now, I've only got the one screen, but I've just got it, the regular main split on the vertical. But it was in the original plan. But again, as I mentioned earlier, I am not a woodworker, so like to actually modify the cab enough to put a second screen on was a little beyond my capability at the moment. But this is much like Tron. This is another game that, I've been trying to play in emulation for 25 years, and it never really felt right on like an 8-way stick or anything. And then once I got a hold of this Mike's Arcade stuff, it's like playing it on the original cabinet again. And this thing is just fantastic. This is even a super punch out one, so it has like the pull up to dodge on it and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I couldn't say enough about stuff. It was pricey hardware, but well worth it.
Nice. Thanks for doing the little show and tell. I appreciate that.
Body blow. Body blow.
I have a 2-screen mammoth beast behind me. Would anyone, can I show that? It's a one of a kind, built it with a neighbor. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it's show and tell. Let's go ahead. While you get that, I'm going to just go ahead and read a super chat from Billy Wright that says, quick congrats to Joel, Retro Lizard. June will be a busy month for him because of baby number 3. Is that true, baby daddy number 3?
That's it, baby. That's it, baby number 3. That's why I got to slow down and stop for a while.
Oh, man.
That's the only reason why. If I didn't have baby number 3 coming, I would probably continue on with this for the rest of the years. But I got to take a pause to be a family man.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations, man.
Awesome. Third girl, too. Cool. Even the cat's a girl.
All right. All girls. All right, Scott's doing some more show and tell. What are you showing us?
Computer.
Oh, my goodness. What is this?
Wow.
That is a beast.
Yeah, I can only get this far, unfortunately. Maybe I can get a bit more.
We might have to do another show with just Scott doing his show and tell stuff. So we might have another topic in a future show, Scott. But man, that's pretty cool. What are we looking at?
It's a tanks machine. It's
called
Tanks. It's an original game inside that I designed, and it's a big ass 2-stick tank machine. And what you can't really tell is that there are 2 screens in it, and it has a screen in the top that reflects on the half glass, and so you get a cockpit in the foreground and a tank battle in the background.
Yeah, people are saying Battle Zone looks awesome.
It's very Battle Zone-y, yeah.
Yeah, it's very Battle Zone-y. I love it.
Virtual too.
I think Vector Tanks is probably still in the iOS store, maybe. But that's the game that.
I'm just jealous of your game room being so decorative in the space. It's absolutely next level. So thanks.
My wife is not jealous at all.
I think we can all attest to that. All right, Charlie, what's going on with you?
I think in the future I'm gonna probably finish maybe a true Valley Midway running hardware with the new add-on kit that's been made available for Satan's Hollow and Tron for working Tron and Satan Hollow's boards. I may actually do a whole cabinet and use Glen's panel with the DIY retro design that we have on ours, and use the same controls and whatnot, and pray that we do get the push-pull spinner,
coming.
which would be fantastic. We need the Disc-to-Tron to work correctly.
Right.
Yeah, I think if I get that going, the Spy Hunter will definitely happen. I think I shared a picture with you, B, earlier. The Spy Hunter is definitely going to happen. That's just going to be a road rage game with pole position and stuff like that. That's going to actually be able to run that kind of stuff, and that's maybe the future for us here.
Nice, very cool, awesome. All right, Glenn, you want to take us home? What's going on in the world of Glen's Retro Show? What you got going on? Any sneak peeks? Any exclusive news you can share?
You know, I always tell you something on the show. So you already know the version 3 optical trackball we're coming out with is ready. Hoping to have it maybe in a month and a half, available to purchase. Working on our Tron joystick, 4 8-way gay powered switcher. We're still working on the analog Tron.
Tronologs.
And like I said, I can't just tell too much yet, but we're making a lot of modifications to that Tron stick that's going to make it do a lot more than it was already doing. So if that's coming down, we'll have probably maybe a month to have some more information on that. We're still making progress on the light guns, steering wheel. We're going to have one available soon. It's just basically a steering wheel that's going to attach to your version 2 or version USB buttonhole spinner for now. But the gear shifter, the pedals, that's coming down the pipe. Well, so we have a lot of these coming down the pipe. Of course, I always say it wrong. Akari Warriors. I never say it right. I'm Italian and German. I'm sorry. But that is coming along. But most importantly, we made a higher priority now. We're hoping maybe the next month for the Discs of Tron push-pull spinner to be available.
Yes.
Nice.
All right, very cool. All right, thanks, guys. I'm going to end the show pretty shortly, but thank you guys all so much. Hang out backstage afterwards and chat. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. If you haven't already, please check out everybody's page, or at least there's a few people here that are content creators, but go buy another Tron stick. Let's all support Glen so he can keep making stuff for us.
They're on their way. People are going to yell at you. It's not an Amazon. There's a shipment on the way.
We need a red one. We need a red one, Glen.
But I saw you at Micro Center, right? So if you have a Micro Center, you can go pick them up as well, right?
Yes,
so, I mean,
actually,
that's your stuff, right?
So, Micro Center's been carrying some of my products, and we're in talks for them to carry a lot more. So yeah, Micro Center's be a very good partner.
Very cool. Well, thank you guys each for your time. Keep it up. I hope you guys keep your eye out for Arcade1up and what else they're doing. So I would say personally, I probably will purchase it to keep supporting them making cool stuff like this, because if they're starting to go down this path, I think it just opens up the door for everything else that the IPs and the licenses are going to bring us. So kudos to Arcade1up for even venturing this far, getting the licenses. But those are my first quick thoughts. Thank you guys all for hanging out. See you guys next time. Bye.
Thanks, P. Take care.